everybody. I'm Shelley, and this is Ray. We're from Iyengar Yoga Honolulu, and we hope everybody is doing as well as can be, and that you're taking advantage of our online classes. Today, our class is focused on to prevent and relieve back pain. And so, we will start.
So just to say before we start, anyone can do this class. It's not just people with back pain. So we're going to start with the invocation. Those of you who don't know the invocation, we do it with each of the classes. You can go onto our website where you got this from, honoluluyoga.com, and you can see the invocation there. You can listen to it and you can print it out. Okay, so you need to sit down on some blankets. So I'm using 3 blankets. If you don't have blankets, you can fold something up and sit down. So just pause the video and go and get the blankets. You'll need a mat to put them on top. So once you've come back, restart the video. Alright, now, so sit down so that spread your buttocks, pull your buttock flesh back, sit on the bones of the buttocks. Sit up straight. Your knees should be level, your pelvis level, your chest level, your shoulders level, your head level. Sit straight, roll your shoulders back, join the palms together, connect to the flow of your breath, and softly close the eyes. Now, if you know the invocation, you can join in, otherwise just listen.
Padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidhyakena yopakarotam ravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi avahu purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasra Shayasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om.
Surrender the head to the heart. Drop the hands on the thighs. The chest, roll the shoulders back and let the head float up. Sit tall, sit straight. And softly open the eyes. The first pose we're going to do is Adho Mukha Virasana, downward facing hero pose. So you're going to need this set up. You need a mat, fold it up, a blanket on top of that, 2 blankets here, and when you fold those blankets up, they're in half, and then you fold them again in half, and you stack them, and then a block. If you don't have these things, then it's okay. You don't have to use these if you don't have them. Again, it's you'll see if you keep following the videos that it's advantageous to have props, and there's a list of props on our website on the page where you saw this video, and we encourage you to get some of those. Okay, so once you've got, pause the video and then go and get those props and then come back. So now we're going to show you the pose first from the front. So I'm going to turn the mat this way, and Shelley will kneel down and she's going to be facing you. So just watch first. So you're going to bring the knees to the front edge of the mat and take them shoulder width wide as your trunk, and her big toes, turn around and show the other way, Sean. Her big toes are together, heels are turned out, and the little toe side of the foot is down, and then she's going to learn to bend and sit down on her heels. So if you can't sit all the way down on the heels, you're going to take a blanket or a pillow or whatever you've got, and you're going to fold that up and put that on top so you can get your buttocks down like that. Alright, so now she comes up, and now she's going to show you from the front, so just keep watching. So it's good that you see all of these things. So she's got a block and she's got these, and then knees are shoulder, body as wide as your trunk, and then she sits down onto her heels. Now she's going to bring her hands up onto the blankets and push through the hands and slide the blankets away so she can get a long stretch of the trunk. And then you're going to rest the head, just lift your head for a second, onto the block. So your shoulders are level here, your back is level, and these are shoulder width apart, and buttocks on the heels. And if you can't get the buttocks on the heels, you're going to put a blanket under your buttocks. And then she's going to bring the hands back and then sit up straight. Now to come out of the pose, she's going to come forward, bring the knees and feet together, and then she's going to sit over on one hip and extend the legs out to be straight. Okay, so let's all do it together. So pause the video, get everything ready that you need, and then when you're ready, we're going to start. So, okay, now we're going to start. So you've got the blankets in front, and then she comes down onto the knees. Bring the knees to the front edge of the blanket. You bring them all the way to the front edge of the blanket shell. So then you know your knees are level. So you use that line. Take your heels apart, big toes together. Don't have one foot wider than the other, one knee wider. And then she's going to bend in the hips and sit down. And stay like this for a little bit and take a couple of breaths. So you're learning to drop your hips, you're learning to release the thighs, connect to your breath. And then gradually you're going to bring one hand up on the blanket, other hand up, hand shoulder width, and exhale slowly and extend out through the hands so you get your trunk to lengthen. Rest your forehead on the block. Now, of course, if this is too much for you, you can put your hands up on a chair. So you can come up, pause the video, go and get a chair and extend the arms up on the chair. Keep your shoulders level. Pay attention to the buttocks. The buttocks should drop down onto the hips. So this is a releasing action that is a way, even in yoga when we let something release, it's an action. So it's something that we learn to do, to actually let something go. So connect to the flow of the breath and drop the hips down, drop the buttocks down. So there's no height. You've got to, and you should feel that the thighs drop down into the floor, the thigh bones. And then give a long, slow stretch out through the hands. Push the blankets away and extend from the buttocks to the back of the skull. Extend from the buttocks to the back of the skull. And as you extend through your fingers, give a long, steady, even extension through the side trunk. Let go of the brain by resting the head on the block. Let go behind the back of the skull, where you feel those muscles under the back of the skull. Let go there. Relax your eyes and face. Follow the breath. Get quiet inside. Now come up, look up, bring the hands onto the floor. Now watch it. When you come up, sit down on the heels, good. Now come forward, bring the knees and feet together, and then sit on one side, extend the legs out straight, sit with the legs out straight. Now we're going to come to Upavishta Konasana, so Shell, come forward, extend the legs out, take the feet apart. Now at this stage again, you need to sit up on a blanket, particularly if you stiffen the legs. Sit up on a blanket or two, legs apart, and push the heels and knees and thighs down and leg bones down. and straighten your legs completely. Sit up straight, look forward. Again, relax the eyes and face. See if you can feel the flow of your breath. If you can, sit on the floor. Show them from the side, Shell. Keep your back straight. Don't let your back slump. So the chest is open. Roll the arms out. Heels down, shins down, legs down, and spine up. The next pose we're going to do is Ardha Uttanasana, half intense stretch pose. We're going to do it at the wall, so just watch Shelley here. So we don't have a wall that we can use right now. We're just going to use our window frame. Be careful, don't use the window, you might go through it. So you take the hands shoulder width. Now our window's a little wider than that for Shelley, but so watch how she takes her hands shoulder width onto the wall.
What level? Shoulder?
Take it about level, about middle waist, you know, below your bottom ribs, and then take the hands to the wall. Point your fingers up. Now pull your shoulders down. Now she steps back a little more. Step back, lean forward till the elbows are bent. Then she's going to pull back with her hips until she gets that same stretch in her trunk she had before. And then she's got to adjust, so you can see her feet are a little forward. So she's got to step until her ankles, her outer knees and outer hips in one line, and she's pulling back like this to give a length in the spine. Okay, so let's all do it together. So come to the wall, stand straight. Now bring the hands at the level of the lower ribs and shoulder width apart. Point your fingers straight up. Your elbows should point straight down. So roll your biceps out, pull your shoulders down. Look forward and soften your eyes and soften your face and connect to your breathing. See if you can feel the flow of the breath at the nose. So all of our movements are going to be coordinated as we watch the flow of the breath. Now lean forward and take weight on your hands. Keeping the weight on the hands, step back. Take the feet hip width, leaning forward, weight on the hands. Now with an exhalation, exhale slowly and pull your hips back over your ankles until you feel your back lengthen. Now if your feet are too far forward or too far back, adjust them. So the outer knees, outer hips, outer ankles in one line. Now again, feel along the side body. And feel that as you press back through your thigh bones, so both thigh bones press back, you should feel the sides of your trunk elongate. Push back through your shins and your heel bones. Push your heel bones into the skin on the back of the heels. So thighs back, heels back, and see if you can feel that the spine and the trunk elongate by using your legs. Connect to your breath, eyes soft, face soft. Pull your buttock bones apart and feel your sacrum spread. Go on observing that and then adjust so the sacrum is level, the shoulder blades and back are level, even the neck is in the same height as the rest of the spine. Don't drop the head. Look softly at the floor and let your eyes go quiet. Follow the breath at the nose so the brain goes pensive, even though you're spreading the consciousness through the body, pulling back with the hips, pressing back with the legs. And then let's walk forward and come up. So let's just do that one more time. So you're going to bring the hands one more time. Exhale, lean forward, step back. Make this a very inward practice, a very pensive practice, a very quiet practice. See if you can receive the pose as much as you do it. So rather than thinking, I am doing the asana, you also have to receive the asana. And notice when you get that kind of mind, there's an inwardness, a quietness that comes. And then let's walk forward and come up.
Alright, the next pose is Pavamuktasana, wind-breaking pose. This pose is very good for keeping width and spread in your sacral lumbar area. Alright, so watch Ray, he'll show. So you will need a mat on the floor. So he uncurls his spine straight down the middle. Okay. Notice how he brought his heels closer into the buttocks, and he's pushing the mat away towards his toes, so the chest slides up. The abdomen is very scooped down and deep. Okay, and then he rolls his thighs to his abdomen, and then reaching out through the arms are about a 45-degree angle, and as he reaches up to the tips of the fingers, he curls his head, his shoulder blades off the floor. And then notice how he binds his arms around the head of the shins, and give a steady pull down of the shins into the thighs, down into the sacrum, and you work to bring your forehead towards your knees. Soft breath, and then to release, he'll roll down his spine. Then the feet come to the floor. Alright? So let's all do Pavamuktasana together. Lie down in your mat. Now bend your knees and walk your heels closer into your buttock bones. You can even hold your ankles and get the heels close in. Okay, roll the thighs in so your sacrum is spread across the floor. The knees are together. Now turn your upper arms out so your shoulder blades are lifted up into your chest. Hold the edges of your mat with your hands, and as you exhale, push with the hands towards your toes. Push away and watch the lift of the chest, the scoop of your abdomen, and there's kind of a traction on your back. Top of the shoulders moving down to the buttocks to the heels. And then keep pushing with your hands, and as you exhale, roll the thighs to your abdomen. Let the abdomen be deep still. And then, keeping the stretch of the torso away from the legs, release the mat, and stretch out to the arms and the fingertips. Then with an exhalation, reach out to the tips of the fingers and curl your head, curl your shoulder blades up off the mat. And as you still release the thighs to the abdomen, bind your arms across the head of the shin bones, and give a gentle pull down against the shins, thighs, down into the sacrum. And as you exhale, work to curl your forehead to the knees. Keep the breath smooth and even, the abdomen deep. And then with your exhalation, unroll the spine, unroll the head. Bring your feet down to the floor. Take a couple breaths, just relax. Take a couple breaths, relax. Soften your throat. Oftentimes we're gripping the inner walls of the throat to do the pose or to maintain it. So soften the walls of the throat. Relax the skin around your eyes. Okay, second time join your feet together, knees together, push the mat away. That's it. And then as you exhale, keep the face soft, throat soft, roll the thighs to the abdomen. Take a couple breaths here and pause. Let the thigh bones recede down into the hip sockets. Thigh bones recede down into the hip socket, so this again helps that spread of the sacral lumbar area. And then keeping that with there, reach out to the arms. As you push out to the fingertips, pull your upper arm bones down into the shoulder sockets. And then exhale, curl your spine up. Take the other binding of the arms, other forearm bone to the top. That's it. Roll the thighs and kind of squeeze the thighs together. Good. And then as you exhale, keep the abdomen deep, inner walls of the throat soft. Forehead to the knees. Round your back. Learn to stay. Be passive in the face. All right, and then release your arms. Unroll the spine. Return your feet to the floor. And again, push the mat away with your hands. And then now Now relax your hands. Relax your hands. Turn the palms up. Then to come out, roll to your right side. Draw your thighs to your abdomen again. Rest your head. Pause a moment or two. And then bring your head up last. So that was Palamuktasana.
The next pose is Malasana, garland pose. It's similar to the last one, so just watch Shelley. You're going to need a wall to take your hands on, or you can hold a sink. If you've got the sink, you can hold the sink. That's a nice way to do it too, or a chair, or a piece of furniture. In this case, there's nothing to hold on to, so we're just going to be extending the arms. So she brings her hands to the wall, and then Shelley's going to take the hands up a little, and then she's going to squat down. Let's have the knees together this time, Shell. Come on up. Bring the feet together, knees together, and then hands up, and then she's bending. So she's trying to get that same length in the trunk, so she's keep the hands as high as you can, so you get this long length. And again, the thighs are together, so that you've got this kind of thighs coming into the belly. If you can't get your heels down, you're just going to put a little mat under your heels like this before you come down. Right, now watch what she does when it's time to stand up. She's going to put her head on her legs. This is a bit like Palamuktasana. And then she pushes her, lean forward onto the hands. Now keep your trunk sealed on your legs as you push your hips up. So you're trying to, and you can pause here with your knees bent. Keep this on together, and then as you straighten the legs, try not to let your trunk come off the legs. This is called Uttanasana, intense stretch pose. Alright, so let's just watch her do it one more time. So she's going to take the hands on the wall, then she's going to squat down, and she's getting the length in her trunk, back of the legs are together, and then she's going to bring her hands down. She's going to rest her trunk on her legs and push her hips up in the air. And if your legs are tight, you're going to keep your knees bent for a little while, keeping the trunk together as you straighten the legs. Alright, so let's all get ready. So come to the wall, have a mat behind you in case you need it to put your heels on it. Bring your hands to the wall. Now with an exhalation, start to bend the knees and pull the head of your shins back. So keep the weight back in the heels as much as you can. Roll your buttocks down under and seal the back of the legs together. Walk the hands up the wall, lengthen the back as you drop the hips. Connect to the breath. If you need a mat, put a mat under the heels. So in this position, you're giving a good, long, slow extension through the side of the trunk. Don't drop the head, don't look up. Keep the back of the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And now we're going to come up, so you're going to bring the hands down. Take the hands forward, lean forward. Your heels should get light. Seal your trunk together as you come up. Push the hips up. And then inhale, hands on the hips, press the heels and come up. Let's do one more time. Malasana. So you're taking the hands to the wall. Exhale, as you bend, pull the head of your shin back. Take the weight back into the heels. Roll your buttocks under so your lower spine is long. Put a mat under the heels if you need it. And then we're coming up, you're going to lean forward, drop the head and push the hips up. Uttanasana. And then come on up.
Alright, we're doing Malasana again, but this time the sacrum will be on the wall. Watch Ray. So he starts a distance from the wall. See, his heels are not that far. His feet are together. Right, then he bends, hinges from the hips and the knees. He pulls his chest forward. Can you see he's adjusting forward so that he can get first his buttocks are on the wall. And then he pulls his torso over the legs. And then see how he's having to adjust the feet again?
Knees past the ankles.
So the knees should be beyond your ankles. And then he finds that same binding of the arms, and he gradually, as he pulls his shins back to the wall, he lets the sacrum slide down on the wall. Okay? And then as you pull your shins back, let the thigh bones recede down into the hips, and the spine should lift up. The abdomen should be deep, and the sacrum is on the wall. He has that same seal of the calves and the hamstrings together. Alright, then to come out, hands down, walk the hands forward, take your chin over your knees, and keep the seal of the torso to the front of the legs as you come up through Uttanasana. And then pulling the chest toward thumbs, pull the buttocks down as he comes up. Alright, so everybody stand at the wall. Your heels can begin maybe about 4 inches or so away from the wall. Join your feet together. Roll your outer thighs in and re-spread the sacral lumbar area. Okay? And then begin to bend from your knees, bend from your groins, deep, deep groins. Pull your chest forward, out over your knees. Touch the buttocks to the wall. And then gradually let the sacrum slide down into the wall. Bind your arms around the head of the shins and pull your shins in. Pull your shins in. Get that deep seal of the calves into the hamstrings. The sacrum should be on the wall now. And then let the thigh bones recede down into the groins. And as you pull your shins back, lift the abdomen, lift the spine up. Alright, and then we're going to come out, release your hands, bring your hands forward, lean forward so your heels get light, they lift up, and then bow your head down, chin over the heels, and then lift from the inner thigh, the inner shin, the inner thigh, keep the seal of the torso, your torso to your legs, Uttanasana. Roll the thighs in. Okay, and then pull your chest forward as you rise up onto the fingertips. Then thumbs to the buttocks. Pull the buttocks down. Inhale and come up.
I shove them too far away.
Okay, now the things that tend to happen here, if the heels are too far away from the wall, as you come into the pose, you see Ray is more on his middle back. His buttocks are kind of just slumping down into the floor. So that's when the feet are too far from the wall. If your heels are too close to the wall, watch what happens. He's more on, the buttocks are on the wall, and the direction of the pose is more down rather than forward and up. Right? So you have to find the optimum place for you, for your heels. Okay, so we're going to do again. Okay, so you can remember where your heels were the first time you did, and whether you were on your sacrum or someplace else. Okay, so step your heels there, roll the thighs in, pull your spine forward, get the seal of the torso to the thighs, and then gradually roll the sacrum down the wall, adjust your feet as needed. Don't be too far, don't be too close. So you can get that seal of the shins into the hamstrings, the torso to the front of the thighs. Bind the legs, pull your shins back, and the spine should spurt up. Keep the back of the neck long, the abdomen deep, and again, inner walls of the throat soft. As you inhale, lift the spine forward and up. Exhale, roll the outer thighs in. You can even squeeze your outer thighs together with your upper arms. Be really compact. Feel that breath of the sacrum against the wall. Study the weight. It should be strong in your heels. Pull your shin bones down into the heels. Chest forward. Alright, and then release your arms. Okay, and then lean your weight forward. So the heels come up, and then bow your head. Lift from the inner legs, tilt the hips up, lift the hips up, walk your hands back, and then be here in this Uttanasana. Malasana gives you a really great Uttanasana. Roll the thighs in. Feel that connectivity of your torso into your legs. Let the brain become quiet. Let the buttocks roll down the back to the back of the skull. Then inhale, pull your chest forward. Keep your legs firm, push your thigh bones back. Then thumbs to the buttocks. Move the buttocks down as you inhale and come up. Be in Tadasana, stand in Tadasana. Level the crown of your head over the perineum, over the heels.
The next pose we're going to do is Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So this is, we're going to use the wall, so watch Shelley. So she takes her hands like this, and she brings her hands down now. This is a little bit wider than the shoulders. So arms straight. Now again, this is like Ardha Uttanasana. So you have to get the weight back in your legs. So she lifts her hips up, and she pulls her hips up as high as she can. Heels up. So she's getting this long length in the trunk, and then she's going to push back through her thigh bones, and she's going to pull her hips back and see if she can get her spine to stretch like this. If the heels don't come down, it's okay. Just keep pushing the heel bones back and the leg bones back. So, and then you're going to bend the knees and come down into Adho Mukha Virasana, like in the beginning of the class. Just roll the buttocks onto the heels. Okay, so let's all do that. Bring your mat to the wall, and then come down onto your knees like Shelley's doing. Now take your hands, turn the palms out so your arms are straight. If your arms are straight, you roll your biceps out and pull your shoulders back from your wrist. Stretch your neck long. So if your arms aren't straight, you might have to take them a little wider. Now from there, watch what she does. Everybody do it together, sorry. Now lift your hips high up into the air, as high as you can until your legs get straight. Now you'll notice that most of the weight is on the arms. So push the hips up higher and pull the hips back. See if you can pull the hips back over your ankles, and push your thighs back, push your shins back, push your heel bones back, so you feel your side trunk get long. Pull your buttocks apart. Then exhale, come down onto the knees, big toes together, roll the heels onto the buttocks, Adho Mukha Virasana. Rest the head. Follow the breath. Eyes soft, face soft, brain cells quiet. Now we're going to do Adho Mukha Svanasana one more time. We're not going to hold it long. So take the hands apart, arms straight. Pull your outer elbows up into your outer deltoids. Lift your chest, shoulders down. Tuck the toes under, hip width apart. Raise the hips up into the air, high as you can. Exhale, pull the hips back and push back through your thighs. Pull back with your shins. Press back with your heels so the weight comes into the legs and off the arms. And pulling the hips up by pressing your legs back. Let go your head, follow your breath, and let your spine extend. Bend the knees, come down, big toes together, knees apart, roll the buttocks onto the heels.
Now, Ardha Padmamuktasana, Padmamuktasana, half wind-breaking pose. So watch Ray. So, as we did earlier, he's unrolling his spine straight down the middle. Okay? And then, holding the mat, as we did earlier, get that traction of the skin of the front body, back body. Okay? And then notice how he folds one thigh to the abdomen. He interlaces his fingers and gives a steady pull down, shin down into the thigh, down into the sacrum. And then he elongates the bottom leg. He's working to squeeze out any air gaps from underneath his leg. Right? And then with an exhalation, he rolls his head, his spine up. He binds his arms around the shin bone down into the thigh, reaching out through the other leg. And then he unfurls his spine, keeping the thigh close to the abdomen. Alright, and then we'll take the legs down, Supta Tadasana, and then we'll go for the other leg. Alright, so everybody lie down on your mat, bend your legs and bring your heels close to the buttock bones. You can hold your ankles with your hands and pull the ankles in. Turn the biceps out, hold the sides of the mat, and push again, and watch that traction of the skin of the front body lifting up to the head side, top of the shoulders down the back. Abdomen should be deep. Alright? And then now, you exhale, everybody exhale and roll your right thigh to your abdomen. Let that groin be deep like Malasana. Then, interlace your fingers, catch the head of your right shin bone, and pull the shin bone down into the thigh, down into the sacrum. And then with that leverage pulling down, inhale, and then curl, and then extend the bottom leg. Lengthen your left inner thigh to the inner knee, inner shin out to the inner heel. Push out to the big toe mound. Try to lessen the air space underneath your leg. Root of the thigh press. Shin press, head of the shin press, heel press. And then keep that awareness of the bottom leg as you exhale and curl your head up, curl the spine up, and touch your nose to the knee. Bind your elbows around your shin. Pull down, seal that calf into the hamstring. Push your right hip away from your right armpit. Keep your right waist long. Soft breath. And then exhale, release your shin, unfurl the spine, the head. And then take your foot down to the floor, elongate the right inner leg and join your legs together. Okay? Push the mat away again. You should feel the skin of the buttocks elongating towards your heels. Press the legs down. Okay, get ready for the other leg. Other leg. So it'll be bend your knees, bring your heels to the buttock bones. Okay? And then coordinate with your breath as you roll the left thigh to your left abdomen. Okay, push the mat away. And then inhale, interlace your fingers, catch the head of your left shin. Press down. Left groin deep. Let the left thigh bone recede down into the left groin. And then elongate the right inner leg. You have to stretch your tension all the way from the skin of the right inner groin all the way up to the right inner heel. Keep the big toe mound pushing away. Keep that inner leg long. Then sealing the right leg down to the floor. So elongate your right buttock bone to the right heel. The longer the back of the right leg is, the more you can seal it down. Then keep that seal. And then curl from the crown of your head to your knee. Lift the shoulder blades up. Lift the shoulder blades evenly up. Bind your elbows. Give a steady pull down against the shin bone. Now the left side of the trunk gets short. So pull your left hip, move your left hip away from the left armpit. Make the size of the waist long, evenly long. And then as you exhale, roll the spine down, go straight down the middle. And then take your left foot to the floor. Bend both legs. Walk your heels in. We're going to do again. Legs are bent. Walk your heels into the buttock bones. Push the mat away. When you push the mat away, don't let the throat grip. Okay? And then bend your right thigh. Roll the right thigh in, and then this time, curl your head, your spine up. Yeah. See that you can make that seal between the torso and your right thigh. And then exhale, lengthen your left leg. Watch for the gaps underneath your leg. Try to squeeze out any gaps. Okay, now this time the right side of the waist is short. So to correct that, you have to act from your left outer thigh. Pull your left outer knee, outer thigh up into your left hip. Pull up your left thigh up into the left hip. And automatically your right hip will move away from the right armpit. So keep both sides of the torso same length. Soft breath. Keep the tongue relaxed. And then exhale, roll your spine down. Take the right foot down, everybody. Then join your feet together again. Prepare for the other side. Use your hands against the mat, push the mat away. Yeah, even your tailbone should feel long on the floor, tailbone lengthening towards your heels. Breathe a couple breaths and let the navel be deep. Okay, and then coordinate the breath, the body, as you roll your left thigh to your left abdomen. Okay, and then begin to curl up, as if the crown of the head were going to the tailbone. That's it. And then seal the left thigh into the left abdomen. Let the right outer thigh release down into the right hip, so left hip moves away from your left armpit. And then as you exhale, reach for that right inner leg. Keep your right leg on the midline, right heel in line with the right buttock bone. Roll the right thigh in, so you keep width at the back of the right leg, the right sacrum. And then when you have that seal of the thigh into the torso, then the peace of mind can come. Keep pulling your right outer thigh up into the right hip, so the left hip will move away from you. And then exhale, roll down, try not to go crooked. And then extend out from your left inner leg, be in Supta Tadasana, push the mat away. Good. Let the sides of your neck be soft, the throat deep.
The next pose is Supta Parivrita Garudasana. It's a pose where you lie down on the back and you're twisting. Supta means to recline, Parivrita means to twist, and Garuda was a mythical creature that was half human and half eagle. So what's Shelley? So she unrolls the spine. She's showing you that she needs the mat and the blanket and a bolster. You're going to have the bolster to the side. And then she unrolls her spine like the last time, so heels and buttocks together. She pushes the mat away, she stretches the spine long. Now she brings the heels in close to the buttocks, and she's going to shift the buttocks away from the bolster. And then the leg that's away, she's going to raise up in the air. And she brings the leg over towards the bolster and cross the other leg underneath. And you're going to cross your thighs. And then bring the feet down, and now you're going to raise up this leg and tuck the other one underneath. And then bring the feet down. Now, she brings the arms in line with the shoulders, and you're expanding through the arms, and you've got to try and get this upper arm down on the floor here. And you've got to keep that down as you exhale and roll the knees towards the bolster. And if your knees don't go to the bolster, you have to just roll wherever they want to go for now. Don't force. So you're just using gravity to drop the knees. But on this side, you have to use the heaviness of the arm to go down. So this arm goes down, these knees go down, and let the back revolve, let the back release. And if it's very comfortable, you can stay here for some time. You're going to move the bolster and then go a little further, but you're going to keep that arm down. And then she comes back to the center, under the legs, and then you shift the bolster over to the other side, and then she lifts the hips up in the air and she takes them away from the bolster again. Right. And keep the feet in the middle, Sean. That's it. Now, that's it. So she raises up the leg that's away from the bolster, cross the other one under, and cross the legs, and then bring the feet under. Bring the feet down in line with the center of the head. And then as she exhales, she's keeping this arm down as she rolls the knees onto the bolster. And then she comes back to the center and release the legs. Okay, so let's try. So first of all, everyone sit up. Everyone sit up. Put a bolster in there. You can use a block or blankets or a pillow, anything you've got in your
I
house.
should face this right now.
No, let's just keep doing the same way. All right, so you're going to have the bolster, and you're going to bring it onto your right side. And then you're going to unroll your spine, bring the heels close to the buttocks, unroll your spine, hold the mat, and push your chest towards your head. So you let your back elongate. Now follow your breath. Now as you exhale, raise your hips in the air, keep your feet where they are, and shift your hips to the left. Then raise your left leg as high as you can. Left leg high, and bring the leg over towards the bolster. Now swing your right leg underneath and cross your thighs as deep as you can, and then swing the left foot under the right. Bring the feet down in line with your hips. Be like that. Now your feet, the center of your perineum, center of your head are in one line. Extend your arms out in line with your shoulders. Look to the left, look to the right. See that they're in line with your shoulders. Don't have them high or low. Now, keep the weight heavily down on your left arm. Press your left arm into the floor. Exhale, start to roll the knees towards the bolster. Don't force. Don't let the feet shift. Keep them in line with the center of the nose and the perineum. And dropping the left arm down, exhale. Roll that left buttock towards the left knee. And let the weight of the legs drop the knees down. And let the weight of the left arm drop the arm down. Follow the breath. Relax your eyes, relax your face. You have to see, can you let the pose happen? So this is a very passive kind of thing. Allow those resistant tight muscles around the hips to release. Let the back soften. You can even close the eyes. Follow the breath. Get quiet inside. Let go inside. Soft, quiet, smooth, gentle breathing through the nose. Sometimes exhale a little slower and longer. Sometimes inhale a little deeper and fuller. So those resistant tight muscles release as you form an association with the breath. Now to come up, press down with your left arm, swing the knees up and bring the feet down. And then bring the buttocks to the midline again. Take the bolster to the other side. Hold the mat, push your chest up. And then you're going to swing your buttocks over to the right. Cross the legs again. Now this time, no. This time you're going to raise the right leg up in the air, swing it over, and swing the left leg under, and then you're going to cross the feet and bring the feet down. Now the feet have to come in line with the midline. Stretch the arms out, check the arms, pull them down, connect to your breath. Then as you exhale, slowly roll over. Don't force. Let the weight of the legs take the legs down towards the floor. You're not pulling the legs down. The legs are just dropping. Extend out through your right arm. Keep the back of the right shoulder on the floor. So that arm is heavily down. Roll that right outer hip towards the right outer knee. And let the back receive that action. Take a smooth, slow, long, deep inhalation. Exhale slowly and smoothly through the nose. And let the body receive the actions of the breath. Form a breath association so you feel, rather than associating with the pleasures and desires of the body, you're forming an association with breath. And notice the effect that has on the body. You have to surrender to whatever condition the body is in. So be in a state of quiet acceptance. Make peace with the body rather than dominating the body. Let the brain rest to the back of the skull. Surrender inside yourself. Be peaceful and calm. pressing down with your right arm. Inhale, bring the legs back up. Undo the legs. Let's go to the other side. If you don't need the bolster, you don't have to have it. Shift the hips over. So you're going to shift, adjust, that's it. Now you're going to shift the hips over to your left. Raise the left leg up in the air. Cross the legs. Stretch the arms out in line with the shoulders. Press down through the right arm. Keep the feet on the floor. Exhale. Roll over onto the outside of your right hip. Again, use the breath. Sometimes inhale a little deeper. Let the breath expand the body. Sometimes exhale a little longer and slower and surrender inside. Dropping. You'll notice the legs are quite heavy, but your left arm is quite light. See if you can make your left arm as heavy as your legs. Pull the weight into the left arm. Inhale, come up. Undo the legs. Shift the bolster over.
Maybe you should mention if they have knee pain or knee issues.
Yeah, if you have knee problems, don't cross the bottom leg over. Okay, so you're going to shift the hips over to the right side, and then you're going to raise the right leg up. Swing the left leg under. Cross the legs. So if you have a knee problem here, you're not going to cross the feet. Bring the feet down, stretch the arms, keep the arms in line, pull your shoulders down, keep your neck long. Now you have to watch the body more than do the pose. So it's a pose really where the body does the pose and you witness it happening. So be a witness. Notice as you start to watch the body, there's all kinds of sensations. And we associate those sensations with pleasure or pain. And we either desire, it causes desires, oh I like this pleasure, I want more of it, or this feels good, I like it, or this doesn't feel nice, I don't like it, I don't want it. So see if rather than going into that, if you can just watch the sensations in a state of neutrality. So to gain that neutrality, associate with breath. Watch the breath, sometimes slightly deeper breathing, expanding the body as you breathe. Inhale. Then smooth, slow, long, quiet exhalations, releasing the brain, surrendering inside. You're working to build up a state of neutrality, witnessivity, becoming a witness to the process rather than being the doer of the process. Let peacefulness, calmness permeate every cell of the mind and body. Pressing down with the right arm, bring the legs back. Now we're going to go straight to Shavasana. Hold the mat with the hands. Corpse pose. Push the chest towards the head. Now keeping the chest stretching towards the head. Slide the feet out. Drop the feet out. Let the legs go. Release the arms. Take the arms about 45 degrees from the body. Turn the biceps out and let the arms rest down. Become still. And again, take a few smooth, slightly deeper inhalations, exhalations, maybe 4 cycles of deeper breathing. And watch the effect on the body as you form that breath association. Then after you've done those 4 or 5 cycles, just pause there like you're standing at a bus stop in a state of suspension, not acting, and notice the effect. Maybe do a couple more deeper cycles of breathing, 3 or 4 deeper cycles, watching the breath, noticing the effect on the body. Gradually come back to whatever normal breathing is. Notice the effect on the legs and the hips, the back and the arms and the head. Relax the scalp. Let your scalp release from your skull, so you feel a vast space between the scalp and the skull. And as you do that, allow the back of the body to soften, the back of the head soft, the back of the shoulder blades and arms soft, as if the arms were part of the floor. Buttocks releasing, let the legs dissolve. Let all of the face go soft, as if you had no expression on the face, as if your face was dissolving. Let your brain float in the skull. As you do that, notice the effect on the body. The head soft, the arms dropping into the floor, the sides of the trunk and hips dropping, legs dissolving. gradually return to the flow of the breath and feel the flow of the breath at the nostrils. And watching that flow, feel the effect on the back of the head and the arms, hips and legs. And gently bend the knees and bring the feet onto the floor. Bend the elbows, rest the hands on the trunk or the abdomen. And then stretch the right arm overhead. Draw your thighs onto your belly. Roll onto your right and curl up. And softly open the eyes, look at the floor. Now keep your thighs on your belly when you come up. So look at the floor and let your head come up last. Then turn around. Cross your legs. Join the palms, lifting your spine, and surrender your head to your heart. So on behalf of Shelley and I want to thank you all. Namaste. And then drop the hands onto the legs. Roll the shoulders back and let the head float up. And softly open your